All right. We are here tonight, and we want to thank you if you're joining us tonight. We want to thank you for joining us. We're excited to be back. We wasn't able to be on the live last week because somebody over here was vacationing in the Bahamas. But we are here tonight, and the first thing I want to do is set a disclaimer. We are not therapists. We are counselors, though. Counselors by the Spirit of God. But welcome tonight. Welcome. And we have a fire conversation tonight. Yes. Fire. And I'm going to do a small introduction, and then I'm going to have Lawrence take over. And I got to read this, so I got my glasses. I'm happy to be here. And the topic tonight, we've been talking about love, but the topic tonight is going to be fire.
Okay.
And it's going to be fire tonight. I really prepared for this. Feeling alone in love. Feeling alone in love. What to do when you're in a relationship, but you still feel lonely. That's our topic tonight. We're going to really dive into that. We're going to dive into how it affects you mentally, physically, and even spiritually. So I'm excited to deal with it, but I'm going to let Lawrence take over for now because you know he got to do his thing on Proverbs.
That's right. We're going to jump right into it. New York in here. What's going on, New York? Oh. So listen, I got my my thing up. I'm not sure how to view it, but I got you guys on my iPad.
Yay!
So you can try to view you guys on here. But anyway, we're going to jump right into Proverbs. It's 7:09. We want to be mindful of the time as well. So last week we left off on Proverbs chapter 7. So we're going to jump right into Proverbs chapter 8. We're going to give you guys the key takeaways to Proverbs chapter 8, okay? So let's jump right into it. If y'all ready, type ready. Like, comment, share, hit highlights, hit everyone, hit follow. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this message out there.
We got to get it out here. because this is powerful.
All right, chapter 8 is about the voice and value of wisdom. So I'm going to give you guys some key points, all right? So number 1, wisdom actively calls out to everyone. Wisdom actively calls out to everyone. The takeaway is wisdom isn't hidden. It's accessible and publicly available to all who pay attention.
Okay. You
have to be willing to pay attention to capture that wisdom and be humble, okay? Number 2, wisdom offers truth, integrity, and righteousness.
Okay.
The takeaway is true wisdom is rooted in truth, justice, and moral clarity, not manipulation or deceit. Number 3, wisdom is more valuable than riches. I know that's the one you like a lot.
I do like that.
Wisdom is more valuable than riches. Hey, what's up, TikTok family?
That's right, TikTok.
The takeaway is wisdom brings more long-term value than money, fame, or success.
Absolutely.
Number 4, wisdom leads to success, leadership, and favor. Godly wisdom equips people to lead, govern, and make decisions that bless others. And lastly, number 5, wisdom brings lasting riches, honor, and fruit. The takeaway is wisdom produces lasting fruit, the kind of prosperity that does not rot your soul.
Ooh, rot your soul.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So that's our kickoff with Proverbs chapter 8, and feel free to go back, watch this and read your chapters of Proverbs to familiarize yourself with this chapter.
All right, I'm jumping in tonight.
Let's go.
Okay,
let's go.
That's your little thing, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, so the question that I have for you guys tonight, and this is a real question because I've actually dealt with this. Okay, this is real. This is raw. Have you ever been in a room with someone you love, but still felt completely invisible? Have you laid next to someone night after night and still felt emotionally abandoned? Today, we are talking about silent pain many people carry being in a relationship, but still feeling alone. Now, I done gave you a hard nugget because we're going to really jump into this. Yeah. Have you experienced that? I mean, well, I don't know if I can ask you that question, but I'll tell you I've experienced that.
Yeah.
Being in a relationship and still feeling alone. And is that where we're supposed to be? Are we supposed to stay? Or are we supposed to go? And if we do stay, why are we staying? And if we do go, why are we going?
That's deep.
That's
profound.
Real deep.
So let's kick it off. So the topic, I like this topic because so many people are in relationships, marriages, relationships with their significant other, and they still feel like they're a single woman, a single man, because they're lacking so many different traits that their partner should be giving them.
Right.
Right. And you have been married for over 20 something years.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So just talk about that, some of those positives and negatives, or pros and cons rather, about this topic from a personal perspective.
Yeah, so for me, I was married, and I was happily married for many years.
Okay.
And then life happened. And I think for me, I stayed in a marriage for the first part because I was in love, I was happy, everything was great. And then as life happened and situations came about, without me getting too personal, I can honestly say at some point I was staying married just for my kids and for fear of being by myself. And so I stayed in a marriage for many years for the wrong reasons. And also I have to say a lot of it, because I was brought up in the Christian faith, I had been told for so many years that you stay married because marriage is long suffering. So I figured, hey, I'm suffering. I'm suffering, so I guess I'm doing, will, you know what I mean? Because I was suffering silently, though, because as a mother, you are trying to put forth your best foot. I'm trying to look at the cameras. You're trying to put forth your best foot to be a positive role model for your kids. So oftentimes, you're so busy trying to please your kids that you are basically internalizing all the pain within, because you don't want nobody to know how miserable you are.
Right.
And I can honestly say I was miserable. And with that being said, I want to jump into, why does this happen? What are some of the root causes that cause that?
Causes people to do what? Stay?
Well, to be in a relationship where now you're lonely. You're married or you're in a relationship, because it doesn't necessarily have to be marriage. There's a lot of people that don't get married, but they're in relationships and they stay. What makes that happen?
Well, I think it's a lot of things that make that happen. I mean, you hit a lot of them on the head. I think people stay in a marriage or relationship, and it depends, right? Are there children involved? Do you guys have assets together?
Okay.
Right? Do you own a house or have a car? Do you have property? Do you have shared bank accounts?
Okay.
The children's gonna be the main one I hear.
Right.
A lot of people stay in relationships because of the children.
Okay.
Because of what that may cause, long term, when it comes to a child not having a mother and a father in the same house. You know what I'm saying?
I think we've been beating our head for so long that a 2-parent household is the best. Yeah. And in God's plan, that is the best.
It is the best, right?
That is the best in God's plan. But is it the best when you're in a relationship? But that's in my notes. Is it the best when you're in a relationship and it's so violent? Or is it the best when you're in a relationship and you're so abandoned and the kids are seeing the toxicity of the relationship?
Yeah.
So is it the best for them?
No, I think in that situation, when you have a situation to where you're married, or have a significant other, baby mom, baby dad, whatever, and you're trying to make something work, right? I think once you guys start getting to the point where it starts getting physical, or you start losing the respect level, those foundational principles, especially the arguing and fighting in front of the kids. I think when you start getting to that point, and now the kids begin to create an ought towards the mother or towards the father,
right.
I think it's time for both parties to start looking at some
having
different
a conversation.
ways. You know what I'm saying? Having a conversation of how they can either seek counseling, therapy, separate. Because I believe that separation is good to a certain degree, not just in relationships, but sometimes it's in life. Separate yourself from people, separate yourself from family sometimes, depending on the type of negativity that's being planted and rooted in your ears.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have to be able to separate and focus on what you got to focus on. And I'm going to get to business now. But your goals.
Because if you're not healthy, if you're not in a healthy headspace, you can't be really beneficial to nobody else.
No.
I think sometimes the breakdown comes in a difference of love language, because there is such a thing as love language. So what is your love language? What is my love language? What do I need? And if I need that, then I need you to give it to me. You know what I mean? So what is your love language? I'm just going to ask you that question, if you had to say.
I don't know. My love language is probably I like affirmations. I'm not really big on gifts per se.
Okay, that's my love language.
Yeah, I'm not really big on gifts, but I like affirmations. I like what's the one that what's it called when you do stuff for somebody?
When you do something for somebody, can somebody...
like acts of kindness, I think.
Oh, acts of kindness.
Yeah, acts
yes.
of kindness.
Yes.
I like that. You know, I love acts of kindness, and that's something that Sharonda and I talk about. So I love acts of kindness, like coming home and having a plate ready for me. It's the small things that I like. You know what I'm saying, to make it feel like I don't have to always think about every little thing.
Right.
You know, I think that's important from a man's perspective. A lot of men love acts of kindness, to come home and your plate's in the microwave. You know what I'm saying? You come home and your bubble bath is ran. You know, just little things that your spouse or your husband could do for you that shows appreciation.
Okay.
You know, it don't take a lot for men. As long as you can respect a man and give a man his respect. The man have trust within the relationship. Is not much that would really, that you got to do to really appease to a man.
So do you think that, and I'm going to ask you guys out there also, and I'm looking for your comments tonight, do you think that sometimes the breakdown could come from past relationships of trauma that they brought into the new relationship or marriage, and now they're invading your marriage or relationship with things from the past, traumas from them, like we talked about, traumas from childhood, or even traumas from other relationships. Think about somebody who's been in a relationship where somebody cheated on them all the time, and they got cheated on and cheated on and cheated on, and now they're in this marriage, and you're not even thinking about cheating, but they're so insecure or they're so wounded from the past that they're bringing that to your relationship by checking your phone, and they don't even have peace, and they're stealing your peace. What do you do with that?
Go to Jesus. I heard a quote one time, and it said, if you don't heal from the people that cut you, then you will bleed on a person that never even hurt you.
I remember you said that
before.
Know what I'm saying? That's true.
And that is so profound because so many people are not healed from their past experiences.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're going into new relationships with old traumas.
Oh, yes.
Old thought patterns.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? And they're not really taking the time to heal, taking the time to truly seek that wisdom and that guidance from somebody that's older than them or somebody that's wiser than them that can help them heal and walk through that process. So they go into the next relationship with that same baggage.
Right.
You know
I remember when I first got divorced, I felt like, so when you're married for a certain amount of time, people look up to you and say, oh, you've passed the 15-year mark, you've passed the 20-year mark, then I'm willing to listen to what you have to say because you have put the work in, right?
Right.
And then I remember when I first got divorced, I felt like a failure because I was like, now are people going to be willing to listen to my advice because they felt like now you're divorced, so what kind of advice could you give me? Because now your marriage didn't work. But I'm here to tell you, I have way more advice now being divorced than I probably would have had when I was in a marriage because now I'm on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Like I said, in the beginning when I was divorced, I literally thought that it was because everything he did wrong. But when you jump on the other side of that and you do self-reflection, and that's what you got to do in relationships, you got to self-reflect and you got to own the mess that you do.
Yeah.
And when I did that, I said, gosh, I was just as guilty. I was saying... And the main thing that I think I did, what you said earlier, what you want and what you need as your love language, and most men need, is respect.
Yes. Oh
and I think as a woman, when I would get frustrated, because I couldn't fight my husband, so I fought him with my tongue.
Yep.
They talked about that in churches.
Words
are crushing.
So deep. Words can cut so deep.
I fought him with my tongue, so I would say things that I knew was going to hurt him.
Yeah.
But those words now, I done spoke it, I done spit it out. And in my mind, I got him. Yeah. But then years later, he's still holding on to that.
Yep.
Remember when you said so-and-so? And I'm like, man, come on, that's old.
Yep.
But it sticks there. Words are powerful.
Yep.
Words are really powerful. So that's another thing that I think we have to be so mindful of when we're in relationships, because I think what often happens is when you're in a loveless relationship, it didn't just get that way. Something happened. There was a breakdown somewhere.
Yeah.
So how do you fix that? I think you really have to be honest with each other to say, yeah, I messed up.
You get into my notes. So I have in here, when communication breaks down, so does intimacy. Right? And intimacy don't always means, sex, right? Intimacy can mean just spending time with your partner, watching a movie, going on dates. But a lot of times when communication breaks down, the intimacy breaks down as well. And I have right here, how unspoken expectations breed resentment.
Right.
Because think about it. I'm a firm believer that every situation can be healed and dealt with through a tough conversation.
Through a tough conversation.
Good and bad. But so many times people are not willing to have the tough conversations because of their pride, because of rejection, because of the fear of what somebody else may say or what may come out. But I'm a firm believer, and we talk about this all the time, that if you have the tough conversations, like you said, talk to your partner, how do we get here? You know, and be willing to be humble to admit your faults and your wrongs.
Right. How did we get here?
And your tonality matters.
Oh, it does matter. I remember an older African man, and I love taking wisdom from elders. And I remember I was complaining about my husband, like, he's this, he's that, you know. I went to him for advice because he was an elder, right?
Yeah.
I respect elders. Respect your elders, you know what I mean? We wasn't born, you know, this big, you know?
Right.
So respect your elders. And I remember he gave me some advice. He said, stop talking to your husband in the heat of an argument. Stop talking to your husband when you're angry. He goes, men are very simple. I'm giving y'all some nuggets, ladies. They said men are very simple. Catch them early in the morning when they're waking up with a gentle voice and say something like this. I miss feeling connected to you. I miss feeling connected to you. Yeah. Say some gentle words, you know, and they don't have time to think about it now because you just caught them when they woke up. You know what I mean? You caught them off guard. You know, so and the Bible talks about speaking words of kindness. Yeah. It talks about it's easier to, I can't think of the word, the proverb, when it says you can get more with honey than you could with something else. So,
oh, yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah,
it's really nice to be kind. So when you wake up in the morning and you say, Sharonda may say to you, I miss feeling connected to you. That really is impactful. It's like, wow, she's being vulnerable at this moment. She's being vulnerable. And so I think that's how you can start bridging back the bridge, because now the bridge is so separated, if it's even a bridge, because that was broken. Right. You got to start reconnecting it, and it happens with those tough conversations. Yes. And you got to be able to be vulnerable enough to say, I'm sorry, or I miss being your friend. Yeah. You know, I just miss talking to you or watching a movie with you. And there are some serious things that happen when you are in this type of relationship day in and day out. Oh my God. I don't think people understand when you live in this space and place of loneliness, it takes a toll on your physical, mental, and your emotions. Oh my God. Listen, it'll create anxiety and overthinking, right? Right. And just think about that. Think about the stresses of life. Right. You know what I'm saying? We watched that movie called Straw. Oh, yeah. And I'm not sure if you guys seen the movie, but the movie really highlighted how somebody could have a decent day. Right? But her situation, she had a bad day from the giddy up. Right. But think about your life, right? You can have a regular day and how stuff can spiral and spiral and spiral and spiral until you finally pop. You know what I'm saying? And then in the movie, what happened? I'm looking at some comments. Okay. Yeah, so we got you guys' comments pulled up right here as well. I have to keep going in and out and look at it. So, oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. That's what's up, y'all. Keep commenting. Keep commenting. We like it. So think about the movie, right? And that was just the movie. And look how she went through so much trauma in that film. But think about your life. Think about your day-to-day. Think about your relationship, your children, your job. You know, can you imagine going through all of that, right? And then on top of that, having a spouse or having a significant other that you're not connected with home. You know, think about the anxiety it's going to bring. Think about the emotional abandonment that it brings. The emotional abandonment. How can you truly get to the next level? And whether it's your job, whether it's your business, whatever it is, right? It's hard to sometimes get to the next level when you're, like you said, you're not mentally, you might be there physically, right? But you're not mentally there because of all the trauma that you're going through in your head, the fussing, the fighting, the going through the phone, dealing with the past hurt, dealing with the current pain, dealing with the arguing, the fighting, what the kids are thinking about you. And that's the key. So you have to ask yourself, and this is a tough question, and this is a tough question that a lot of people don't ask, are we modeling love or are we modeling survival? Because kids need to be in an environment where there's love. Not saying that they can't see struggles and they can't experience, because that's real life. Yeah. There's going to be some ups and downs. But what are we doing? Are we surviving in this thing? Or are we even modeling love for our kids and for ourselves?
Well, it goes back to what you were saying. I think some people, when they're in a relationship with somebody for a period of time and you guys have built so much equity with each other, especially children, and like you said, real estate, just, all the et ceteras, I think it becomes more of a partnership.
Okay.
And it becomes more of a convenience versus love. It becomes more or less survival, because now it's like, well, I'd rather deal with him or deal with her. We have our kids, we have our house.
I got that in my notes.
Really?
I got that in my notes.
I'd rather deal with him or deal with her because it's convenient for me. I'm used to my routine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So on that, I want to say, your kids, and I wrote this down, your kids don't need a perfect family. They need a healed family.
Ooh, that's good.
That's good. They don't need a perfect family, but they do need mom and dad to be healed and healthy to thrive in that environment. Because what happens if your kids are not in a healthy environment, they grow up.
Let me ask you this. So do you think it's wise if you have a married couple, right? Male and female, or you have a boyfriend and girlfriend and got kids, do you think it's wise for them to split and raise the kids separately? If they could be healed apart, or stay together, have the family unit, and still have discord?
Oh, I would say hands down, if you're in an environment that's toxic, if the kids are constantly hearing arguing, if the kids are constantly seeing mommy and daddy upset, hands down, I would say if we can co-parent in a healthy space where our kids can thrive and healed parents, then you need to walk away for the children's sake and for your sake. And we're going to get into why you should walk away for your sake.
Let's get into it.
So let me just say this right. Okay, so should you stay in a marriage just because it's comfortable and you don't want to start over? How many people are in a marriage today? Forget about the kids. Sometimes the kids are grown and you're still in the marriage. You might have used that kid as an excuse. Now the kids are in college. Yeah. Now here you are, and this marriage still, and you're not happy.
And you're not happy. And you're older. Look how much time you wasted, too.
Oh, my God. Ooh, if I can turn back the time, I'm going to sing Cher, Because at the end of the day, that was my issue. Yeah. I will honestly and transparently, 100%, because we keep it real here.
For sure.
Is when I looked at myself, I was like, oh, my God, I'm 48. My kids are grown. Oh my God. What? Well, I had one that was not technically grown, but he was an older teenager.
I think he grown.
How do you start over at 48? You know what I mean? To get back in the dating game at this age, I was like, oh my God. But the pain of being in a loveless loneliness was like, this can't be God's best for me neither. You know what I mean? I mean, there got to be something better out here than this, because this cannot be God's best for me, because I literally lived in my house and we lived two separate lives. Two complete separate lives. We didn't have no conversation. We didn't have no communication. He didn't show up for monumental moments. Yeah. I can't say me. I was always there. But, I mean, and then I remember this was the turning point for me. It was the New Year. It was like, in New York, it's a big deal with the, what is it? New Year's Eve.
The ball drop.
Right, New Year's Eve. Everybody knows New York have the big ball drop. So I'm not living in New York no more. So one of the things that we used to enjoy doing was watching the ball drop. Right. But I remember I was sitting in my den and the ball was dropping. The kids nobody was home. Everybody's got their own lives now. Yeah. And I was sitting in that chair like, he was upstairs, I was downstairs, and I said, oh my God. I literally I just felt so lonely. Yeah. And it started to impact me. So to answer your question, if that's where you're at, no, don't stay in a relationship just because I'm afraid to get out. I'm afraid to leave. I'm afraid to start over. Trust God.
Somebody said, Shantae said, I've learned never to be afraid of starting over, no matter your age. Being happy is major.
Absolutely. I am giving you, echo that. Being happy. Now I told you how bad it was for me. Yeah. But when I got out and I had to learn how to take out my garbage, I never learned how to mow my own lawn. I had to pay somebody to do that now.
Stop telling your age. You looking good.
Oh, thank you. Hey.
Tyrone said true. Bishop said true. Auntie Patter's on here. Sister, I was listening to you. Made me laugh. Look, we're getting better, y'all. We're reading your comments.
We're trying to get the comments, too. They say I make everybody laugh. So on the other side of that
you
thing,
had to learn some different things.
I had to learn to start over.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to take my garbage out. But can I tell you, there was a freedom in that, a peace of mind in that. I felt so empowered. I felt like, okay, I didn't just stay in something just because it was convenient.
Yeah.
I got out and I was happy. I'm still happy.
That's the most important thing.
And I forgave him.
You have to forgive.
I forgave him. So you go ahead, because I want to look up something that I put in my notes.
No, so I was going to say, like, so what do you do, right? I'm asking you guys, drop in the comments. What do you do when you're in a relationship and you're growing, but your partner is stagnant?
Ooh.
Right? What do you do? And feel free to drop in the chat. If you're growing and your partner is stagnant,
well,
if they choose not to grow.
Okay.
Because some people could be so stubborn and have so much pride that they choose not to grow. You know what I'm saying? Because growing is a choice.
It's absolutely a choice. But in my notes I wrote here, but love also doesn't mean neglecting your own emotional, spiritual, and physical needs. Because I'm going to just stay in this relationship. You choose not to grow. You choose to stay. I'm all the way at the finish line. You still back there at the starting line.
Yeah.
And now what do I do? In between all that space.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true.
What do I do with that?
That's so true. Because here's the thing. People think, and John Maxwell said this. He said people think you grows and you have to be intentional to grow. Right? So we get older every year. Every year you get a year older. So I'm 32. I'll be 33 next month. Jesus Christ.
I know.
33 years old. So I'm getting older. Don't mean I'm getting wiser.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be intentional with growth. Just because you get older every year don't mean you get wiser. You have to be intentional with reading books, intentional with mentorship, intentional with finding the right group to be around.
Right.
You know, I'm very intentional about not being the smartest person in my circle.
Right.
Because if you're the smartest person in your circle, then how are you growing?
Right.
You know, like you always say, sometimes you got to play dumb to catch the wild. Sometimes it's okay to be in a circle to where you're not the smartest person.
Right.
So you can grow. So like you said, getting around people who does have a longevity in marriages, asking them, how did your marriage work?
Right.
How did you become such a good father?
Right.
Such a good mother?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I love talking to the older ladies. I see that's 80, 90, like my grandmother, she's 90 something years old. I love talking to her wisdom.
Oh man,
you know,
open the door to that wisdom. You can't get nothing better than that.
And they don't make them like they made them back in the day.
They don't. Oh.
You know, even talking to your mom, my grandma here, she's 70 something years old. You know, you don't get that kind of wisdom. You know, like you know what I'm saying, like you did back in the days. Because it's totally different now.
It's so different. It's so different. So let's talk about, because I know time is escaping us. Let's talk about what happens when you live in constant loneliness, when you live in constant in a constant place of just not being happy. The number one thing you're going to get is depression. Now, suppressing,
I got that on my notes too.
Suppressing grief, anger, and shame and fear causes depression. Now, let's talk about the science. The brain dopamines and serotonin pathways are disrupted. So you're messing with all your hormones.
Yep.
So you know what happens when you get dis-ease. It creates disease.
That's right.
So when you're in dis-ease, it literally will create a disease.
That's a fact.
Okay? So depression, high blood pressure, heart disease. But here's the one that I really wanted to get to tonight, because I keep hearing about so many people with this, and I'm hoping I'm going to pronounce it correctly. First of all, it's going to be autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease is the immune system begins attacking the body. That's the cause of an autoimmune disease, okay? Now, the science is emotional suppression affects the immune signaling, stress hormones caused by the immune dysregulation. Now, when I looked it up, spiritual health, okay, because I looked it up from the spiritual perspective.
That's right.
It says that it's linked to self-hatred, autoimmune disease now, self-hatred, guilt, I'm not good enough thoughts, and the body literally turns on itself. The body turns on itself. So this is one of the things I keep hearing that people have. I'm trying to get the right pronunciation of it.
That is deep.
Fibromyalgia has become so big. That is an autoimmune disease. Lupus, an autoimmune disease. even diabetes. Although your body is turning on itself. Think about that thing. When you're living in a constant state of depression, your emotions are all tangled up. It starts to affect your immune system. And I keep hearing about women especially that's developed, oh, wait a second, another one, thyroid issues.
Oh, yes.
Thyroid issues is an autoimmune disease. We're not just talking tonight, we're educating.
For sure.
We're educating because too many people are dying prematurely from cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure. I'll be honest with you. Here I was 60 pounds heavier, eating like crap. Eating, I'm not kidding you, because I just ate what I wanted to eat, right?
Yep.
I did not start developing any type of high blood pressure until I went through a divorce, till I was going through that divorce. The stresses of it.
Oh my gosh.
The stress of it. I was heavier then. Eating, now here I was eating better, lost weight, and then all of a sudden I'm getting a doctor report that was negative.
See?
So don't tell me that stress and stuff don't cause these what we're talking about tonight.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how many women I meet that says, oh, my body's in pain. Oh, I'm developing lupus. Oh, I have thyroid problems. I have, even in my own family. And you know what I do? I sit back and I start to look at their life. And I start saying, oh yeah, you need some freedom. You got to get out. I'm talking science tonight, from the science as well as the spiritual.
Yes.
This is affecting us, people, when we got to figure out a way to be happy.
Oh my
and
goodness.
I got to jump in with my laugh a lot, because I'm telling you right now, you guys are going to start seeing me on live doing laugh a lot venues, because you got to laugh a lot.
That's right.
You got to be happy. You got to be happy. I'm laughing when I'm saying it, but I'm serious, because we're staying in situations, not just relationships, not just marriages. We're staying in situations and we're wondering why every time we turn on TikTok or we turn on the news, children are dying of heart attacks at 16 and 17 and 18. Mental illness is real.
Oh my God.
Depression is real. It's affecting people's bodies. We got to do something about this. That's why we're on tonight.
That's right. Listen, you got me speechless, man. Like, you know,
your body turns on itself, right?
Y'all know I love to talk. But this topic right here literally got me speechless, because you dropping gems tonight and you're giving like scientific facts that people probably try to sit there and, because think about it, people go to the doctor all the time and they're saying you're just fine.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with you. Not realizing that a lot of times it can be spiritual.
It can be spiritual.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily a physical element that's wrong with you. It's a spiritual element that's wrong with you, because of what you're telling yourself, what you believe in, what you're thinking.
Oh my God, yes.
You know, telling yourself, I'm not good enough. Bitterness and having a hardened heart.
That's right. That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? And I wrote this down in my notes. You know, when you're constantly hurt or ignored, you may develop spiritual bitterness toward your partner, yourself, or even God.
Okay. Ooh.
Because now you're starting to question him.
Right.
Of, you allowed this man to hurt me.
Right.
You allowed this woman to hurt me. You know, if you're the great Almighty, why let this happen to me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now you start to tinker and teeter on that side of the fence of, you know, I don't believe in God no more.
Oh yeah.
Or God allowed this to happen to me.
Oh yeah.
If God was real, he wouldn't let this happen to me.
Right.
Not understanding that sometimes a lot of times we have to go through these storms.
And you have to recognize it. I think the biggest mistake that we make, even in the church sometimes, things are not taught in a practical sense. You know, there is such a thing as spiritual reasons why certain things happen. We got to begin to teach that. We teach science, we teach the medical, we'll believe all of that, but we will not get into this book and see how this is affecting our bodies.
Yes.
And there are real root causes to sickness. I said there's real root causes to sickness. I do want to say this. Holding into pain can sound like this. Get your ears ready. It can sound like this. So the minute you hear somebody maybe doing this, you might can say, oh, this person may need a hug. And I mean that. Because when you give a person a hug and an embrace, there are certain chemicals that are released.
Oh, yes.
For healing.
Oh, yes.
For healing. Okay, so holding on pain can sound like this. I'm fine. How you doing? I'm fine. But really, you falling apart inside. Okay, that's laughing in public, but crying alone. Going along to keep the peace. Now, that's probably a big one.
That is a big
when
one.
you know something is wrong, and you know that it, you know, I mean, I don't want to say what I was just thinking, because that's probably too deep for tonight. But you know something is wrong, and yet you're not saying anything. that starts to affect your peace.
Oh, yeah.
It robs you, and that is what they call holding in pain.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking your voice doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now you're holding in pain. One of the major reasons for thyroid issues, I think I got some notes on it, is not being able to speak. Constantly keeping your voice quiet. But I'm going to back it up with some science in a little bit. Feeling like your needs are a burden. So now it's almost like, I don't want to complain. I'm going to be a burden. No! If somebody's doing something to you, say something.
Speak up.
You're hurting me.
Speak
you know?
up. For sure.
You know?
For sure.
I want to get to that thyroid thing. Hold on a second.
And going back to what you were talking about, that's pretty much somebody having like an identity confusion.
Right.
You know, feeling like, you know, I'm not lovable, you know, or, you know, something must be wrong with me. I'm not enough. You know what I'm saying? And so many people are telling themselves that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, think about your heart, right? That's why it's so important when they say protect your eye gates, your ear gates, your mouth gate, because what you speak goes into your heart, right? But people don't understand even the word heart has here in it.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm messing up my ponytail.
Don't mess a ponytail. But that is so profound because we don't realize the things that we speak over ourselves.
Right.
We are literally speaking and decreeing negativity over ourselves.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, I just stay with him because of this, or I just stay with her because of that.
Fear. A lot of times you're driven by fear because you don't know what's out there. You're like, well, man, I better stay with this. The devil I know, an angel. You know, what was that saying?
I know you're talking about. I can't recall.
Okay, but let me just get to the thyroid. It says the throat is where your voice lives. It's biologically and spiritually affected by suppression. Cortisol, cortisol imbalance and inflammation interfere with the thyroid hormone production. Now, when you talk about the spiritual reason, it's often linked to silent identity. Okay? Not speaking your truth, feeling powerless, or spiritually muted. Autoimmune. Autoimmune. Okay?
That's deep.
That's real deep.
That is so deep. And the other thing too, I think with people when they're dating somebody or they're married to somebody, I think the other issue is feeling like nobody wants to be the one to say I left.
Oh yeah, I didn't end it.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, listen, Gladys Knight said it best. Neither one of us want to be the first to say goodbye.
Because you have that psychological thought of, well, if I leave her, if I leave him, what if they find somebody else that's better than me, that makes more money than me? Or what if she becomes more successful? What if he becomes more successful?
What's the other movie that Taraji played in? The one that everybody said they're going to do. When she stuck by her man for so long.
Oh, what's that movie called, y'all?
Lanetta, you should know that movie.
What's that movie called, y'all? God almighty.
You said you're going to watch it. Lanetta knows that movie with Taraji when she stuck by her husband for so many years and then he finally became successful. And then it was like, oh no, girlfriend, you ain't getting all my success. What was the name of that movie?
God, y'all, help us out, y'all. Jesus Christ. She was with the guy and since like high school, something like that, or college, and he ended up losing all the money. And then he finally got successful trying to create this thing.
Is it? No.
Acrimony.
Okay, who said it?
Lanetta.
Okay,
Acrimony.
that's it.
Acrimony.
Shout out to Lanetta. That's right. And people get like that. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not going to leave him because what if he makes it or what if she makes it? Yep. Now you're wasting all these years.
Yeah. Or the fear that somebody put into them. You're not going nowhere.
Right.
If you leave me, I'll kill you.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of that, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
And now you don't leave because of fear. You know what I'm saying? So this got to be prayed up,
I do want to talk about a couple of because I talked about, I want to educate tonight, and we're going to educate. Autoimmune disorder is lupus, right? We talked about lupus, and it says the cause is the immune system begins attacking the body. Science is behind it. It's emotional suppression affects immune signaling. Stress hormones cause immune dysregulation, right? But spiritually, lupus is linked to self-hatred, guilt, I'm not good enough thoughts, and the body, I said, turns on itself. Same thing with fibromyalgia. I can't ever get that word. Can you pronounce it for me? Fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is chronic pain.
I don't know.
Chronic pain in the body. And so it's caused repressed trauma, grief, emotional exhaustion. I said expressed trauma. Think about what happens when your body is in trauma. You start tightening it up. So think about your cells and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
So science says nerve pathways become hypersensitive when emotions are never processed. Okay? And then spiritual says, often tied to grief, deep disappointment, and emotional trauma never expressed.
These
are creating diseases in your body.
Yes.
Autoimmune disease, your body attacking itself. But we did talk about high blood pressure. We did talk about it's so many things. I can't get to them all tonight. But the bottom line is tonight, the reason why I said we're coming out with gloves tonight, we're boxing tonight, because our goal is to heal.
Yeah.
Our goal is to get people to be healthy and to understand that there are different solutions and ways you can get around situations.
Oh, yeah.
You do not have to stay in a situation because you think it's spiritually right only. Like, I'm going to stay in here because somebody said I should stay here.
Yeah.
Because if that be the case, I would still be married. And I know that that's not where God wanted me to be. You know what I mean? And so if you can salvage your marriage and save it, and you have two people willing to work at it, by all means, save it. You got to put the work in. Two people can save your marriage if you can. Save it if you can. Yeah. Save it if you can. Because now I will say I'm happy, but hey, you got to go through some things out here being single. You got to go through some things out here. You got to be smart. You know what I mean? You can't get foolish because you start feeling like you're a teenager again. Remember me? When I first started dating again, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm a teenager.
I was like, what are you doing?
I'm dating. I was dating.
I was like, come on, man, what you doing?
I was dating, and I didn't realize, because when I started dating, I was like, hey, wait a minute, because you don't realize when you're in a broken marriage, you don't realize that you don't take care of yourself the same way. You're not feeling as good about your confidence is not where it needs to be. When my confidence started getting high everywhere I went, hey, what's up, girl? I'm like, oh, hold up. Let me get my points all right. And I started feeling good about myself, and it started exuding from the inside out. So it's important to be in a happy space, not just for you, but for your children.
Absolutely.
For your children.
Now, how can somebody salvage their marriage or relationship? Okay,
you know what? God gave me a revelation. Now, that is something that we'll talk about one day, roots of love. Because God literally, I feel like it came fresh off the throne in terms of when I was sitting down, it came in, somebody speaking over here. I can't read it, my eyes. Could you read that?
I can't see it.
Okay.
Oh, somebody trying to join in the live.
Oh, can they join in? Can you get them in?
Well, it's going to echo.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so bottom line is, how you save your marriage? Communication first. Well, excuse me, God first.
Yes.
God first. God first, and two people willing to communicate. But it's not enough just to communicate. You got to be willing to really change. Yeah. If I give you a suggestion and say, hey, dude, this is what I need, then you got to give a person what they need. And I would definitely encourage young people, older people, back out a little bit off of social media. Give your partner that time that they need. But the respect got to be there. You write down the 5 most important things that you need. She should write down the 5 most important things that, but that's say backwards. Basically, everybody write down what they need and everybody stick to it. Yeah. Stick to it. You know what I mean? Because if you're not working actively and your spouse is not working actively, it's not going to work. Yeah. It has to be 2 people willing to put the work in. That's and it got to be starting off as friends again. You got to be friends.
That's what I was getting to. So I think it's so important. People that I see that have really successful marriages or relationships, they were best friends first.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I think that is so important for people to realize that, you don't just marry somebody because they look good or because of, sex or whatever the case may be, or money. You have to really truly develop that friendship with that individual, because that's what's going to keep you going long term.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
When the money runs out or when, the arguments come in place, it's the friendship, the connectivity that you both had in the beginning that can help you guys have those tough conversations. But when you get married for the wrong reasons, in my opinion, or you with somebody for the wrong reasons, boyfriend, girlfriend, then I think that the slightest things can cause, miscommunication.
Absolutely.
And create damage.
Absolutely. And then here's the thing. I love music, right? So if you find what you both love. Now, I spoke about my marriage being unhealthy, but I can speak about when it was healthy. When it was healthy, me and my ex-husband, we would just sometimes put our music on and we would just dance in the living room. You remember that? Oh, yeah. We would just dance in the living room.
No, it wasn't all bad.
No, it wasn't all bad. Shout out to my ex-husband, Sammy, because God knows in heaven, I can't speak ill of him, because he was absolutely, there was some good years.
Now, in the beginning, it was some good, but these the last of the, as I say, the later years.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what
happened. The devil. It was the devil. But in the good years, we was friends. So being friends, we would take the most. I think that my perfect advice would be take the most simplest things that don't cost money. Find out what you like and just do a dance. In the middle of the night, include your children. When your children see you dancing and hugging each other and showing affection, they see enough of the fighting. They see enough of the yelling. Right. So, put some music on in your house, something that you both enjoy. I love some Tammy Terrell and Marvin Gaye. That old school music, ain't no mountain. You can get the kids involved, give them some quality music instead of what we play today. Give them some quality music and make it a dance night. Make it a karaoke night with the family. But it's got to be things that don't cost you nothing but your time and having fun. We used to dance all the time. I give Sam credit for that. We had a lot of good years of dancing and holding each other and playing music and stuff like that. But they don't make music like they did back in the day. Well, you got to play that music. I don't do nothing but old school. But my kids know old school. All of them. I mean, even little Sammy being there singing that old school. They know the old school music because that was quality music. So, I mean, my advice to young people and older people that are married, find the simpler things in life that don't cost money, that doesn't cost nothing but your time and having fun. So I guess we end with, should you stay in a relationship where you are lonely and not happy? When we already found out with the science what happens to your body if you live in a constant state like that.
So that's crazy. The only health thing I had in here is about heart. Because it matters, I love talking about the heart.
Yes.
And the one fact I had inside of mine was that, when you have emotional stress, emotional stress is linked to 29% of increased heart disease.
I believe it. High blood pressure, heart disease. High blood pressure,
heart disease, heart attacks. And I had no clue about that. That was my only scientific fact about this topic, because so many times it's dealing with matters of the heart.
And here's what I got for that, because I had some notes for that too. High blood pressure, heart disease, chronic stress from unspoken pain that keeps the nervous system in fight or flight. Okay? Science, elevated cortisol damages blood vessels and also the heart rhythm. So the spiritual root to high blood pressure and heart disease was often rooted in fear, anxiety, bitterness, or deep resentment that was never released. So
all that pressure.
And that's why I'm thinking I had to be in some pressure, because my numbers was pretty high.
I remember.
I was like, Jesus, you know what I mean?
I remember.
So, and that was one thing that I asked God, you got to deliver me from that, because God is a healer. And he can deliver you from that. But if you are experiencing high blood pressure or anything, take your medication. Trust, and pray over your medication as well, that it doesn't have any side effects, no negative side effects. Pray over your medication. I pray over my medication.
Man, this was good.
This was good. I came out tonight to really do your thing, please.
Oh.
Can you please do that? That's his little thing he's doing. I came out. So we want you healed. We want you happy. We want you in this. We're not coming against marriage. Let me say that. That's a disclaimer. We want people to stay married.
For sure.
We want you to stay in your happy.
And get married.
And get married. Oh, yes. Because I always say I'm wife material now. I'm just waiting for my Boaz. Not your broke. That's a little joke if my sister girl listening. My sister girl Tara sent me something. Or you're sorry.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I know, now, my antennas is on high alert. But anybody that come around here that she's trying to talk to, I'm running rap sheets, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing the whole, let me stop.
Yeah, he is doing that. He is doing that. But be happy, be in a space and place. If you can regain your friendship with your spouse or your significant other, do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the way this world is coming, I'm always sending my little TikToks. You didn't put my TikTok out there.
You don't like my video?
Oh, well, he don't put the same work in my little TikTok. I asked him to do my edits. He don't do them the same way he do his edits.
No, so I made an edit for her for one of her videos. Now I do all my edits on most of my videos that's out there. She wanted me to do an edit for her video that she sent me. Number one, it was long.
It was like a minute or two.
A minute and 56 seconds. It got to be under a minute. Really under 90 seconds. But anyway, it was a really good, powerful video. So I tweaked her video and I added some animated stuff on it. I think it was nice.
It looked like cartoon stuff. But anyway.
I think it was nice.
We're going to put it out there because, the thing about it is the bottom line is I was trying to get the word out, and one of the things I said is this is 2025, and there's no more time to waste being unhappy. Find your God-given purpose.
Let them know your TikTok.
Mine is walking against the current.
Right.
Walking against the current is my TikTok.
Yeah.
So you want to jump in. Walking against the current is where I put my videos at. And my videos are always going to be about peace, uplifting, and walking against the current and being happy. 2025 is about being happy and doing your goals. Start today.
That's right.
Okay, we had our time, buddy.
We had our time, man. Listen, this was good. This was fruitful. Tonight, you cooked tonight.
Okay, I cooked tonight.
You cooked. I had notes, y'all, but she was dropping so many gems and scientific facts. I was like, listen, I only had one fact about. I ain't really gonna jump to the science tonight.
I
thought we were gonna jump straight into the, you know what I'm saying?
Lonely?
Just being lonely, talking about the meat and potatoes. I was ready to box right there. You know what I'm saying? But you brought the facts out. You brought the scientific, the spiritual. Listen, you got it tonight.
All right, all right. Where your fans at?
Oh, matter of fact, the awards come on tonight.
Okay.
Awards.
Ooh, okay.
He's performing.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to 803 Fresh, man.
That's right.
South Carolina. But listen, we hope you guys enjoyed it.
And learn from it.
This is our goal, right? And learn to put out great content that you guys can learn from, you guys can grow from. Miss Sarah's on here. Great session. Thank you so much. That's Sheriff's Lot, executive assistant.
Oh, great.
That's watching. That's my second mother right there.
Watch out that competition I got to meet her. I'm just kidding.
This is so good. Thank you guys so much. Ashanti, thank you so much. I will leave that alone. So listen, we hope you guys learned a lot tonight from this session.
Yes.
Our goal is to inspire, to impact,
that's right,
and to leave a legacy for, you guys, for our children, for our families.
That's right.
So we're going to come back next week with another topic. You guys dropped some topics in here, man, that you guys must talk about.
That's right.
And we want to figure out a way to get some of y'all on here, that we can add you on here so you can, come live with us.
Shout out to everybody who commented tonight. All my sisters and friends and sisters and friends. Just thank y'all for jumping in.
Yeah, we have almost 30 comments.
All right. What did Lynetta say?
She said so much.
Oh, man.
I got to get you, Lynetta. She said so much. I'm playing.
But shout out, we will see y'all next week, the same
That's right.
time, Monday, 7 o'clock, sharp.
Right. That's right.
So if you got some topics you want us to discuss and want some wisdom, remember I said, listen to your elders. If they're shooting out some wisdom. You think you learned from your mother?
I did. Listen, y'all, this is who I be learning from. I be telling y'all about, man. She got me tonight. She got me, she educated me tonight. But that's what it's about,
What's that?
Who's that? Oh, somebody wants to join. Hold up.
Who's that?
Who want to join? Let me see if I can add somebody on here. Somebody wants to join.
They on?
Not yet. They'll pop up.
Okay. Okay. So I'm learning this technology. So we learning from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it says added. Okay.
Got it.
You gotta hit the accept the invite on your.
You gotta hit accept the invite, and you gotta be respectful.
She got off.
Who was it?
Somebody named Mrs. Shanti. She's trying to add to get on. So listen,
okay.
Listen. Y'all want to hop on? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're gonna start doing that. But listen, y'all. We glad you guys enjoyed it.
And we will be back next week. What is it saying? We're gonna get this right. This is his. Now I'm blaming him for this.
What? No, ain't the blame.
No, I'm talking about for the technology piece. That's I'm struggling with technology.
Oh no. I was trying to see if Netta try to get on, but I ain't gonna put you on the spot. And
I don't know if any of my sister girls want to get on because we be on this.
Netta, you want to get on the camera real quick?
What did she say?
She didn't say nothing yet.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we actually passed 8 o'clock now.
I know.
Somebody told me that it ends too quickly, so that made me feel good. She goes, "Why y'all end so fast?"
Well, because we don't want to be a club Shay Shay and be on for 5 hours.
Oh
no, you got
somebody said something.
You got great content.
Okay.
She said, "I'll join next week." Okay.
Okay. All right.
So we want it to be short enough so you guys can watch the whole thing, and the human mind and attention span is so short.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So we want it to be like 30 minutes, 45 minutes max. But tonight we went over tonight, and it's okay. So listen, you guys enjoy your night. Go watch the BET Awards because it's coming on right now.
All right.
What?
Be blessed. How do you turn this off?
Let me cut this one off first.
Okay.
Gotta hit the power button.
Which one is the power? Have a good night, guys. Enjoy being